Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've sat down to film a long video like this. I feel like I say that every time I film long videos because I don't film them as often as I used to anymore. Not that I was very consistent in the past, but now I'm all about the shorts. This is actually the first time I am filming a sit-down video in my new apartment. I did film a unpack with me, but I didn't talk that much. So yeah, this is my new apartment. It's been 2.5 months since I moved in. Yeah, it's time to film a long video. So today I am comparing all of the brow pens that I have. I have promised this video for many months now, and today is the day where I actually film it. Brow pens, I have 5 today. At the time, well, I bought this a few months ago for the purposes of filming this video, and at the time I was in a no-buy and I did break my no-buy for this, so I hope you appreciate that. So I wanted to film this video because actually brow pens are my favorite way to do my brows. I mean, I will use different ways when it comes to this part of my brows, but the tail of my brows I always go with a brow pen just because I feel like it gives you the more hair-like looking strokes, and they're also precise enough to create those thin hair strokes, something that is not very easy with a brow pencil. I had a couple of them before. I was like, okay, maybe it's time to try some new ones. Let's get out there on the internet, that is, and try to find as many brow pens as I can to compare them, try different ones, see what I like or what I don't, and maybe I find something better than I already have. So that is where it all started. But before we get into the video, I forgot to mention the elephant in the room. I am a brunette. After 2 years, I am a brunette again, and that was okay, long story, but this was not entirely my choice. I mean, I do go through phases of being brunette for 2 years and then being blonde for another 2 years and then being brunette again. So it's kind of a cycle that continues, but it wasn't entirely my choice. So yeah, I was blonde, but then my roots had come to this point, and I honestly kind of liked it because it didn't look like a straight line. It was kind of blended well, like a balayage or something. That was actually right before we were about to have like our engagement party, and my mom was saying like, come on, you have to do something about your hair, like, don't you think? And then my fiance said the same, like, oh, aren't you gonna do something about the hair? I'm like, fine. One person you can ignore, but 2 people, I guess I had to do. And then I had to book a hair appointment with another hairdresser because my hairdresser did not have time when I had to do the appointment, because that was 2 days before I was actually traveling. So anyways, I went to the same salon but to a different hairdresser. I'm very happy with my own hairdresser. She's done a really great job with my hair. But yeah, I went there and she refused to bleach basically my roots. She was like, no, your hair is too damaged, I cannot do that. If you want to do that, go somewhere else. And I was like, but I'm traveling in 2 days, I cannot go anywhere else. Or I thought about it. Anyways, she was like, I can only do highlights. I'm not going to bleach all your hair because it's very damaged. And yes, my hair is really damaged. Totally agree. But as a client, I accept the risk, you know. Mind you, I had done highlights one time before while I wanted to have balayage, but I got highlights instead. That's a different story. But anyways, I just hate how highlights look on me. I feel like they make me look older, and I don't know, I just don't like the look on me. On other people, amazing. On me, I hate them. So I was like, fine, whatever. I mean, half of my hair is kind of like bleached everywhere. It's going to be only the roots, whatever. I had no choice. So I did them and I hated them. Yeah, I had to accept the situation. So yeah, anyway, so I kept them for a couple of, maybe a month or so. 2 months maybe. And at some point I'm like, screw this, I hate them. I am not going, because I was thinking like, let them grow a little bit and then I can kind of, I don't know, because my roots will grow out, and they will not look as intense as before. But then I was like, screw this, I cannot handle this hair anymore, and I dyed everything brunette. And yeah, here we are today. That was a long story, but yeah, my hair is very damaged, absolutely. I acknowledge that. I decided to let it grow for a year or so and not do anything else to it. So yeah, this is the story, the long story behind Why am I brunette? And yeah, I do like it. This is very close to my natural color and I love the difference, but I know deep down that I will miss the blonde very soon. And also, yes, I am wearing different eyeshadows and lashes in my eyes today because I was testing some makeup, so I hope that's not too distracting. Now that all of them blah blah is out of the way, let's get into the video. I know my intros are very long, but I have to catch up with you guys, you know? Alright, let's start then. I'm gonna start with the first product, or the first brow pen that I ever tried, and that was this one. This is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. Mine is in the shade Dark Drapes, and in one end you do have a typical brow pencil, and on the other side we have the brow pen. It's looking like this. I don't remember exactly what year brow pens became a thing, but I feel like it was late 2018, early 2019, something like that. Or at least that's when I kind of discovered them. I actually initially wanted to go and buy the MAC one because this is a product that I actually saw on YouTube as a brow pen for the first time. So I went to the store and I wasn't happy with the shades that they had. I felt like there wasn't a shade that was dark enough for my brows. And then they told me we do have a similar product from Urban Decay, which is this one, which was darker than the MAC one. And I was like, perfect, let me try this one. So I'm gonna be talking about pros and cons of each product, and at the end I will kind of sum up everything and tell you which one of all of this I prefer. Should we start with the pros? Yes. This has a brush tip applicator and it is very thin, so you can be very precise with this product, which I really like. For me, it's all about precision when it comes to creating hair-like strokes. I really like that. I'm gonna make a line with it. That's the thin line that it creates. And the brush tip, except from being thin, it is also a little bit short, or shorter than some of the other products that I have, which actually I feel like it gives you a little bit more control on the application, because this is not a super easy product. It's not entirely like an eyeliner, which you can kind of like the whole brush tip can touch your skin and just drag it. For a product like this, you would kind of lift it a little bit and draw, which makes it a little bit more difficult to use. So there was definitely a learning curve in the beginning with products like this, so you have to keep that in mind, but you do get used to it after a while. That is why I feel like a shorter brush will help you with the application, will give you a little bit more control and make it a little bit easier. That's for the tip. Another pro is I like how pigmented this product is, because some other brow pens are not pigmented enough, but at the same time it is blendable. It's not a too intense pigment where you cannot blend, or even if you can blend it, it will kind of create a mess and make your brows look like too much, you know. But both of these things, being pigmented and blendable, kind of come with a con at the same time. Like, yes, it is pigmented and yes, it is blendable, but it is a little bit, like a tiny bit too pigmented. It is a little bit intense. I mean, you can maybe tell that that is not your actual brow hair, you know what I mean? And it's not like super blendable. So for this product, I feel like pigmentation and blendability lies in the middle. It's not too bad, but it's not too good either. And the other pro that this product has, which also can be a con, it comes with a pencil. And the way I like to do my brows lately, I find it the fastest and the easiest. I do use the pencil through basically my whole brow, and then I blend it a little bit with a spoolie, and then I take my brow pen and kind of fill in the tail of my brow and where I feel like there are some sparse spaces that do not have any product. The brow pen, it is kind of a perfecting product at the moment. I go very fast with the pencil and then kind of perfect everything with the pen. But with that being said, I do use sometimes only a brow pen to fill my whole brows, and it gives you an even more natural looking brow, which I really like. Another pro is that they do have quite a good range of shades, so I believe that probably anybody could find a good match. Now, going to the cons of this product. I don't know if this happens with all of the other shades that they have, but with this shade, I have definitely noticed that it can turn a little bit purple sometimes. That might happen sometimes if I have a little bit foundation foundation. This with the foundation doesn't always happen because I usually apply my foundation before I do my brows. I usually do my brows at the end. I would notice that if maybe I have too much foundation around my brows, a particular foundation would kind of mix with this product and make it turn a little bit purple. It was still brown, but a purplish brown. And there's a fly in my apartment and it is driving me crazy. So keep that in mind. And also when I would apply setting spray, especially if I'm like applying a lot of setting spray, which I do sometimes, that will also change the shade of this color. But sometimes it would dry down and become the color that it was before. Keep that in mind about this product, that it might change a little bit. This is actually my second one. I did go through one of this before. I used both the pen and the pencil. But the other positive thing about this product is also that this will kind of keep a consistent flow until it's actually empty, because with some of the other products they will kind of dry halfway through and then you would have to turn them, you know, upside down so that the product goes to the tip. I did not find that this was the case with this one. The flow was pretty consistent throughout the whole life of the product. Another con is this product is a little bit pricey, and it is very convenient that it comes with a brow pencil, especially if you use both of the products. But there might be some people out there that want just a brow pen, and that is me sometimes. I do want just to use a brow pen, but I understand that a lot of people prefer to do a brow pencil and then this one later. So yeah, it is really convenient to have both, but if you use one more than the other, or if one of them finishes faster than the other, then you're kind of stuck with half of the product still not being finished, and that is what happened to me. I did finish the pen side before I finished the pencil side, so I had to get a new one before I finished the old one. And then I would use the pen from the new one and the pencil from the old one, just so that I could finish it and throw away the product when it's completely finished. And again, this is a little bit of a pricey product, so that's kind of what motivated me actually to try to find a new product, because I felt like maybe I can find something that is a little bit more affordable and it has maybe just a brow pen without having the pencil, and then I can repurchase that product whenever I finish it, you know? Yeah, so that was everything about this product. I will come back to it later. Let's move on to the next one. I just spilled some water on my shirt. I'm sorry. I know that it looks distracting, but let's hope that it will dry fast. I do not have time to wait for it. I'm gonna have to work with it like this. I am traveling in 2 days and I have so much stuff to do. I always do this. Before I travel, I make myself a big to-do list, and most of the time I manage to do like half of it. I stress so much about doing everything. I don't complete half of it, and then I do feel bad about not completing half of it, and I usually stay awake most of the night to finish packing. I should learn, but I don't know. I don't know why we do this to ourselves. I've been wanting to film this video for months, but when do I decide to film it? Right before I travel. Anyways, let's continue. Let's go to the next brow pen that I tried. That is the Infinity, it has a long name, Infinity Brows Sketch and Sculpt in the shade dark brown. I do have this one in another shade too, taupe, which does work for me, especially when I was blonde. Okay, so I have thoughts about this product. I was actually very kindly gifted this from 𝐅𝐻𝐋𝐋𝐿 when I used to work for them, so I'm very grateful that I got to try it. But I do have my thoughts about this. As you can see, this does not have the same size in both ends, and I feel like that is a very cool thing, because for example, this product, if I was using both of the sides of the product, both the pen and the pencil, sometimes I would put the wrong cup on each product, because I thought I was putting this cup on the pencil side, but it was actually the pen side, and it would press the pen side too hard and it would kind of ruin the tip a little bit. So these are exactly the same, you cannot tell the difference. But with this one, the pen side, it has a bigger cup and the pencil side has a smaller cup, and also this one screws open, like it screws open. It doesn't just open like this, and that is also a positive thing, because it actually happened to me with this side, the pen side of this product, that on my previous one actually, towards the end of its life, I could not keep the cup in place and it would just jump all the time, so that was annoying. I had to tape it down after I finished the pen side, and I still had some of the pencil side, so I still wanted to continue to use it, but this side would jump, so I had to tape it. So yeah, that is, I appreciate it. It's obvious that they have put a lot of thought in this product. But now let's move on to the actual tip. This is a felt tip product. It is a little bit thicker and longer than the Urban Decay ones. I will show you. Google keeps eardropping at me. For comparison, the first line is the Urban Decay and the second one is the Linda Hallberg. I kind of talked about the positives about this packaging. I don't really have any negatives about the packaging. The negatives kind of come when it comes to the product. The tip of this product, that's the problem for me. They do have a good shade range and very nice undertones. I really like the undertones. I feel like it is a little bit nicer than this one. My problem with this tip, okay, I have seen people using these tips in different ways. Like for example, if you want to fill the whole brow a little bit first and then just be more precise later with the tip, you can kind of use the whole tip, which will give you more color and a little bit of a thicker line so that you can fill the whole brow. And then where you want to be more precise and create thinner lines, you can use the very end of the tip, which is thinner. That would be great in theory, and I do use this product now to fill my whole brows, except from the very thin hair-like strokes that I want to create, because the actual very tip of this product kind of has dried out. And even though there is still quite a lot of liquid in the product left, it's not like the product has dried out, it's only the tip. I feel like the product does not go to the very end of the tip, and that creates a problem for me, because no matter how much I use it to draw, there is no much product coming out. It's only kind of like half of the tip gets wet. The very end of the tip does not get wet anymore, and that way I cannot create thin lines. And I feel like that was kind of the case since the start, since I first started using this product. For a very short amount of time I was able to kind of use the tip a little bit, but I don't feel like that lasted very long. And even though I do leave it like upside down like this, still the end of the tip does not get saturated at all. I cannot get the effect that I want, the really thin lines. That is the whole point for me from using a product like this. Otherwise I would just use a brow pencil. I know that we're not talking about brow pencils, but if you're interested to know, this is nice and thin, I'll give you that for sure, but it is kind of a harder formula. So if you're somebody that likes to have creamy brow pencils and this is not for you, it is a little bit harder to apply, especially if you haven't used it in a while. You'll maybe see that I don't know if you can tell, it kind of turns white a little bit. Like for example, the product that I haven't used, it's white, and the very tip that I have been using, it is brown. And if you haven't used it for a while, it's almost like you need to warm the product up so that it gives your color payoff. It is a harder tip and it will be a little bit harder to apply this product, so some people might not like that, but I feel like that kind of makes it a little bit more precise than a very soft brow pencil. But anyways, just kind of an overall overview of this product. Now I kind of drew everywhere, so you will not be able to tell the comparisons. And also the pen side, it is quite blendable. Have I gotten anything? Be real. Let's take a be real real quick. Alright, priorities, right? Okay, let's continue. And also another thing that I didn't quite mention with this is that both of the colors of the pencil and the pen match really well. While with this one, I feel like the pen side was a little bit darker or a little bit of a different shade than the pencil. So that's something to keep in mind. These two match really well. This is approximately the same price as the Urban Decay. And again, same issue as the Urban Decay one. If you run out of one product before the other one, then you'll have to purchase a new one. That was it about that product. Let's move on to the next one. Now, these three products that I have, I bought at the same time, where I kind of went out to try to search to find something better. Yes, I guess there were maybe a couple of other products that I could have got my hands into, because I really wanted to try like the Glossier brow pen that they have. I have heard good things about it, but they do not ship here, so I couldn't get my hands into it. And yes, there are other brands that are coming out with similar products. I saw a Kevyn Aucoin one, which was very pricey. I was like, I'm not spending that much money on a brow pen. And a Colourpop one, which I kind of wanted to get, but then I was like, I'm not making a whole Colourpop order just for a brow pen when I have to pay for shipping and import fees and taxes and all of that stuff. So I was like, whatever. These are all the products that I could get my hands into and I was willing to get my hands into. I have one more actually. I'll get up and pick it up later. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the NYX Lift and Snatch brow tip pen in the shade Ash Brown. So this is just a brow pen product. It does not come with a pencil. This is exactly the same packaging as the Epic ink liner from NYX. After some time, the tip will kind of start leaking, but we're still good, I believe. Okay, so this is the tip. It is a brush tip. It is really nice, thin, and I feel like it is shorter than the Urban Decay one. Is it? About the same size, but this one is a little bit thinner than the Urban Decay one. I will draw a line. Yes, it's definitely thinner. The Urban Decay one is in the middle, and then we have the Aligiai Cosmetics on this side, and then we have the NYX one on this side. It is thinner than the Urban Decay. A little bit, not too much, but you can definitely tell the difference. This is not as pigmented as this one, which I like because I feel like this has kind of the perfect pigmentation for a brow product. You don't really get too much product at once. Like, it is really easy to work with. You get very natural looking lines. I really love the amount of pigmentation this product gives you. It blends really nicely. You can become very precise with this product. The very end of the tip will not dry out like the Aligiai Cosmetics one. It makes very realistic brow hair looking lines. So I really love that about this one. It is drugstore, so this is really affordable. It's not the most affordable I have, but it is really affordable. One con about this product is that the pen can kind of dry out a little bit, so you do need to keep it like this, because I actually used it for a few weeks, I guess, and it was perfect, amazing, but then it kind of started to dry out. I was like, oh, come on, I love this product. Like, don't tell me that that's it. It finished after a couple of weeks, you know. But then I left it upside down and the liquids got into the tip again and it was good as new again. So really easy to use. I love that it is a separate product. When you finish it, you can just go and buy a new one. Yes, it's not as convenient as having it together with a brow pencil, but I kind of like it more actually. So I will take another brow pencil separately and use it with this one. Yes, you do need two products, but I prefer it that way. So basically, I really like this product. The only negative was that it can dry a little bit sometimes, and after a long time of using, it might start to be a little bit leaky. But I feel like that's the NYX packaging problem. Let's move on to the next product. We have the MAC one, the one that kind of started this whole thing. So this is interesting. It has two ends, but it does not come with a pencil. This comes with a shadow-like product. This is a pen tip and this is the other tip. So this is almost like an eyeshadow. This is what it will give you. I haven't used it long enough to see if it will like finish very fast or not. This is the line that I drew right here. Quite nice. So I feel like this product is meant to be like you use the eyeshadow kind of side to fill the majority of the brows, and then the pen side just to make the precise lines. My issue is that, as you can see, here was the eyeshadow side and then here was the pencil side, so the undertones do not match. The eyeshadow side, I tried not to press it too hard, is like a dark brown, while this one, it is much warmer than this one and a little bit lighter. So the eyeshadow side is darker and more neutral, cool toned, while the pen side is lighter and warmer toned. So this will not give you a very good match, at least the one that I have. Maybe the other shades give you a better match, but this one that I have do not match. Not very well. And yeah, this is supposed to be, did I read you what it's called? It's the Shape and Shade Brow Tint in the shade Spiked. It doesn't have the greatest color selections. I believe that the other products had a little bit better color selection, and again, that's kind of what kept me from buying this, because I was actually in store the first time when I wanted to buy a brow pen, and I feel like I tried all of the shades and I did not feel like I could find one that matches me as well as the other ones did. So the color selection is not the best, but it's a fine-ish. It still has a nice thin brush. It's not a felt tip, it's a brush tip. It's a bit longer and bigger than the NYX and the Urban Decay ones, which again can make it a little bit harder to use because thinner and shorter would make it a bit easier to use. But I also have to say that this eyeshadow side does blend quite easily. In the beginning, when I first got the product, I was like, I will probably not end up using this side because I do not want very, very thick looking eyebrows or like super pigmented looking eyebrows. I want them to have a very natural amount of pigment on them. I was afraid that that would gonna be the case, but it was actually quite alright and quite easy to blend. When I use this product, I do use this side too. But then again, it has two sides and some people might not like this side of the product and might not end up using this. From those people that only like this side and not this side, that you would spend money just for one side, so half of the product. That's also a little bit of a negative. So that's all I have to say for this product. I've been talking for 50 minutes already. Yeah, my mouth hurts. It is a bit less painful to film shorts. Okay, let's move on to the second to last product, and that is the Anastasia brow pen in the shade medium brown. Now this is also like the NYX one. It is only a brow pen product. It has a similar brush to the MAC one. I kind of didn't want to buy this product because it is a little bit pricey. I mean, Anastasia, it is a higher end brand, but I was like, okay, it's okay. This time I want to try as many products as I can. So my issue with this one, except from the price, is that this is very pigmented. I was not exaggerating. I was not pushing too hard or like doing too much to it just to kind of make it look more pigmented than the others. But like, look at this. You can already tell this one is the Anastasia one, that this is a lot more pigmented than all of the other products. I used to use the dip brow pomade in the shade medium brown, so I was like, this shade will probably be good for me. And it is a dark brown, which is the color of my eyebrows. It's not black, and I do believe that they have darker ones than this one too. So the range of the shades was good. They did have quite a few shades available. I thought that this would be the one that would match me perfect. I did buy it online. I did not buy it on the store, so maybe if I bought it on store I would find maybe different match. I don't know, but I went from thinking that medium brown was my shade in the dip brow pomade. So this is very pigmented, and that would have been okay if this was an easy to blend product, but it is not. This is not blendable almost at all. Like, it might blend a little bit, but where you set it, it will stay. That will take away from the more natural looking brows. I mean, it has a nice thin tip and it's all good, but when you use this product, your brows will look microbladed. That is a look, and sometimes I want that look, but most of the time I don't. Most of the time I want very natural looking brows. That's the issue with this one, so I cannot wear this one, for example, in a very natural looking makeup day, because it does not look like my own brows. It will look like a huge difference. But on the other side, it is quite long lasting. Like, once you put it there, it will not move. So maybe that's what you want. Again, I feel like there are people that would like a product like this, and I do like that sometimes, but most of the time I don't. So I don't think that this is a product for me personally. There's a huge difference in pigmentation here from all of the other ones. Now for the Revolution one. I mean, Revolution usually does this, but look at this. They look almost exactly the same. They're both black and they both have the same rose gold writing. They are super similar. They are very similar in application too. But as you can see, I honestly have not used this product more like maybe 3 or 4 times, and as you can see, the writing has started to rub off from most of the product. So this has very similar brush to the Anastasia one. Both of them, they are brush tip, by the way. They are not felt tip. What is this called actually? This is called Dark Brown Hair Stroke Pen. Dark brown is a shade obviously, but it's a hair stroke pen. This has the same issue with the Anastasia one. This is also very pigmented as the Anastasia one, and also not blendable. I think this is a little bit worse than the Anastasia one when it comes to blendability. It does not blend, like, it will stay there. Yes, you can make thin lines, but they are not as precise as the Anastasia one. It is too pigmented, it's not easy to blend, and honestly, I did not like this product almost at all. The only good thing about this product is is, except from making thin lines, the fact that it is cheap. You will not end up having natural looking brows with this one. It's too pigmented, and also it dries out quite fast, so you do need to leave it like this. Honestly, the tip of it kind of got ruined, so it's not super easy. I mean, now it's a little bit easier because I did leave it upside down for a long time. Something to keep in mind. Honestly, I did not like this product. It is like this but worse, and I did not love this product either. So I don't know, it might be worth for some people. Some people might be looking for those intense microbladed looking brows. Maybe you would like this product, but I personally did not like this. Alright, so to sum up everything before my battery dies, products that I would not recommend. Okay, so let's put it this way. These are the products that I will definitely not buy again, is two of them. So these are my least favorite basically. We have the Makeup Revolution one, again too pigmented, not blendable, not a nice tip. And the Linda Hallberg one, it is a nice pigmentation and a nice shade, but I find it very difficult to work with a felt tip applicator that it has. For me, it does not work almost at all, not the way I wanted it to, at least. So this product I would definitely not buy again. The Anastasia one, I did not hate it, but it is not the brow look that I go for most of the time, so I would probably not buy this one again either. And it's also too pigmented and very difficult to blend. So now we have three products left: the NYX, the Urban Decay, and the MAC. The Urban Decay one, this is my second one. I have repurchased it in the past, but would I buy it again? Because of the price, probably not. And also the shade of the pen, it is not my favorite. It can change sometimes. We can look purple, and I do not like that. I want to have a reliable pen that has the same color payoff and the color shade all the time. So for that reason, not my least favorite, but not my most favorite either. And then we have the MAC one. It is nice. I think that this could potentially be a product that I would buy again because I do like it. I don't know about the eyeshadow thing. I don't know how it end up looking after some time. I don't know if it's worth buying a product like this that has these two shades. If it was only the pen side, I would probably buy it again. And that leaves us with the next one. This definitely is my favorite from all of them. I definitely see myself repurchasing this one. I am very happy that I went through this process of trying different ones because I did find a favorite brow pen which is affordable, and I really like the way that it applies. It did tick most of the boxes that I want a brow pen to have. This is definitely my new favorite product. I have been using this one most of the time. Like for example, if I'm going somewhere and I want a reliable product, I will go for this. If I'm doing a no makeup and I want my brows to look super natural, I'll go for this. This was definitely my go-to product from all of these brow pens. So I'll definitely keep repurchasing this one unless I try something else in the future that I like even more than this. But yeah, still, this is a really nice product and it is affordable. So for something that I would go through very fast, I mean, I have been using it for months and it has not run out. This is the only brow product that I use, and I would go through it faster than if I use multiple ones, you know. I think this is definitely worth the money for how much you pay and what do you get. So that concludes this video. It was definitely worth doing this process because I was stuck with using two brow pens and I was not super happy with either one of them. So I found a new favorite, and I really hope that this was helpful. If you wanted to try a new brow pen, or if you haven't tried it anything before, I would definitely recommend the NYX one because it is affordable and you're not gonna spend too much money for something that you're not sure that you're gonna like, for example. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Let me know, what is your favorite brow pen? Have you tried any? Is there anything else that I should really try? Let me know all about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in my next one. Goodbye. And now I have a bunch of other stuff to do. Cool.